pipe rack.
Is
that a beer mat?
Now it depends. It might be a patch. It might be a beer mat. We try to get what we can for Talk of the Tavern when we can. And hold on, the pictures are still loading, so apparently it's the country internet. Okay. I have to go beat the sheep so they run on the wheel quicker.
Treadmills. I've seen a treadmill. They've still got one up in Anglesey, I think. Well, there's a little prison on Anglesey, or either Anglesey or Holyhead, up near Wales, and they've still got the treadmills there.
What terrible idea. For?
I think it was just for exercising prisoners. I don't know what it did. Whether if it ground anything. I don't think it made electricity, but it could have done. Wouldn't have made very much.
Do you think every time we bought a treadmill, we would hook it to something, even if it's just to generate our own electricity and store it on solar panels or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
We have to Travis.
Ooh. Hello.
What, Andrew?
We have a message.
Okay.
We have a message in the group, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see photos. Here we go. This is Travis's work.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, yeah. That's lovely. That very cool. Nice.
I bought some art today and I left it behind by mistake.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll pick it up.
Yeah.
It means we'll have to go back. Buy more stuff. That's lovely. So you're using, aerosol.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah, that's
I love the shapes as well.
Spray paint and whatnot. Then using, different whatever to create the circles and the shadows and the.
Yeah.
Nice.
And compared to somebody who knows what they're doing.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's simple, but I'm pleased with it. It keeps me.
I like them.
It is something different when you have your own art in your house, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Our flat's not big enough to have the art on the walls, so really. It's a 1930s flat. There is space, but we've just utilised every corner. So, yeah, I'd love to have a warehouse so that we could put artwork up on the walls, because I do appreciate art and people's art. So,
yeah, our home is being overrun at the moment by drums. I've got this slight obsession with buying vintage drums, and it's become a mission, because some of the songs Tixie's been writing are really old-fashioned sounding, almost like I'd say somewhere between 1900 and 1920s jazz songs. And so I thought, well, I want to get that traditional drum sound that they used to have back then, and there aren't any samples for it, and I don't really like using samples if I can avoid it.
Right.
And I thought the only thing I can do is buy another drum kit that is from that period of time.
Wise move.
So I've been trying to buy all the bits and pieces, and they're everywhere, but it's good fun. We shipped quite a bit of the drum kit from the States, and they got really stung with tax, import tax. It's crazy.
We sent a small package to one of our co-hosts, and we put the real value on there of $20 or $50 or whatever it was that we sent.
Yeah.
And they charged him £20 to pick it up.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Yeah. So the next time we sent something, and it was actually a camera, a $60 or $70 camera, Andrea put the value of $2 on it, and he didn't get charged.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Because you have to pay so much to ship it over there too. So they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not fair. And I sort of think, well, I mean, I don't know how I suppose they don't care what it is inside the package, but I'm sort of thinking, well, it's drums. I mean, why do I really need to? And they're antiques. They're sort of beyond vintage. They're antiques, really. So I suppose they have a resale value as well.
It's cheaper just to get a plane ticket sometimes.
Pick them up.
I should have done that.
Yeah, that's actually a wise idea.
I should have done that. Why didn't I do that?
I haven't got passport.
Time.
Mine's run out.
Next time.
Yeah.
Then we'll just pick you up at the airport. You go get your drums, and we'll take you back to the airport when you're ready.
That'd be amazing. Well, I'm 99% done. There's only one more thing I need to get.
How long do you think you're going to live?
I'm going to live for a long time playing this drum kit. Well, back in the old days, drummers used to have tiny cymbals attached to their bass drums. which when you hit the bass drum with a pedal, it used to have this thing called a dinger, and the dinger hits the cymbal.
Huh.
So there was a dinger on eBay, and I thought, yeah, but a dinger's no good if I can't have the cymbal. So I'm going to wait until a cymbal comes up, and then I'll buy the dinger. A cymbal came up. I bought the cymbal. The dinger had gone, and then I realised they are rare as the rarest bit of steak. Hang on. I'll show you. Where's my thing here? There we are. Look. So this thing here, that is the cymbal. It's a chrome cymbal that would have screwed onto your bass drum, and now I just need to get a dinger.
Yes,
so that's one of the reasons
a man is
we
nothing
went shopping
without a dinger.
today. I know, I'm dingerless. I don't have a dinger. Not everything else.
Toey, when you said
I never even knew that was there.
Toey, when you said stream dump, was it just an interruption in the stream? Is it okay now? And that's probably because I was sending them the pictures with our delicate internet, and it had a moment. So let me know if you can't hear me or see me, tell me. That works, right?
I quite like the fact you can only see the half of my head.
It's a good half. Hang on, I wonder what happens if I do this. Wait.
I don't mind.
Okay, so so our webcam
I just realised you put two tape cassettes
I know.
like on top of.
Well, yeah, we're balanced on 2 tape cassette recorders here, or two tape cassettes because I don't know if I take it off.
Old
though,
technology.
I'm going to try and get Tixie into view by readjusting this.
Move it back more, yes.
I mean, let me see if. Hang on. Oh. Yeah, I think battery is probably okay.
Let's do this.
Unplug this and see what happens.
Let me play the next song I have.
There we go.
And you take a minute and readjust your camera while we're doing that, okay?
Is that working?
Yeah, that's.
It's got imminent again.
That's unusual. I've got you instead of. Hang on. Ah, there we are.
No, I'm still like just in the top of my head.
Can't be seen. She's too short.
Oh, it's all right. It's fine. I'll just look.
Go and put
a
some
bit
platform
tired.
shoes on.
Oh no, I did that. We went to a 20s party on Friday, and I wore platforms then. Oh, they hurt my feet.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So you like the 20s stuff as well?
I do, and I'm thinking about the Gin Punk week we have coming up. Andrea, how great would it be to get Toey and Mo and Tara on the Wednesday episode all dressed in 1920s, 1930s outfit? I bet you Mo would look sharp.
Mo, I want to dress you. No. Suspenders.
Oh, yeah. And a striped shirt.
You mean braces?
Yes.
Suspenders.
Yeah. We mean both.
Oh, okay.
What are they
That
called?
kind of party.
What are they
we call them
called?
braces. Braces.
Bracers.
See, in the U.S.
Braces.
Oh, is that what that is?
What do you call them?
Like braces over there is braces for teeth as well.
What do you call? What do you call them on the teeth?
They're called braces.
They're not just called braces, though. They've
Exactly
got another
the same
name.
word as braces. Because they're bracing things, aren't they?
No, they're called something else as well, though, aren't they?
Which ones? The
Yeah, they've got another name.
Bracers?
Orthodontic correction devices.
No, no, they're not just called braces, are they? They've got another
braces.
name, are they?
Yeah,
They've got another name.
I think the American word is suspenders, and we
What
use
is
that. Well, what do you call suspenders? I mean, like ladies' suspenders. Do you call them suspenders as well?
Are you talking about the leg ones?
Yeah.
Garters.
No, the ones that go around the.
Oh, you call them garters?
Oh, garters are what go around the top of your thighs.
So what do you call garters? Do you have garters?
What is that?
Oh, we're learning stuff
okay,
here.
yeah. If you get married, if you get married, like they still use them, but they're you have that sort
Around
of saying.
your side?
The one around
Yeah, like a blue or
That's
whatever.
also a garter.
Borrowed.
Correct.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Garter.
Right.
You call both of them garters?
Yes.
The one that holds your stockings up, or
Yeah, that's it.
it's usually a garter belt.
Oh God.
I
okay.
see. Okay.
Thank
Oh,
you,
well,
Mom.
okay. Yeah,
Appreciate
I've learned stuff today.
They're not called braces. They've got another name. They have got another name as well because it,
Are they?
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Yeah, can't remember what it is.
Yeah, the armbands or the thigh bands that are just the elastic with the frill on them, those are called garters. The ones that hold your stockings up are garter belts or sock garters for men.
Oh, we have.
we have
you
those.
see, we
Those
have
are
sock
cool.
suspenders.
Ah,
Yeah.
see? Look at us just cross over and never meet in the middle.
Yeah, strange. Although there's one thing I don't have in my wardrobe, which is a very old idea, but a good idea, I think. And they were a type of, well, we could call them suspenders or braces, but they clip onto the bottom of your shirt, a gentleman's shirt, and then they go right down through your trousers, and then they clip onto your sock.
They still have
We have those.
You have
You
them?
have
The
them?
military
brilliant.
people use them.
Excellent. Now I know where to get them.
And by the way, Toei says we don't really have men's sock garters unless you're kilted. Toei, I have 2 pairs of men's sock garters that Andrea bought because she finds them sexy. Now, what I like to wear them with, I will wear them with dark socks and sandals, the sock garters, plaid shorts, and a Hawaiian shirt, and then go to a convention where people are like, "What are you dressed as?" I'm like, "I'm an eccentric author and talk show host named Travis." And then I give him a
Brilliant. Yes. Well done. Yeah,
Well,
that's exactly it.
one time when we went to Contemporary, they thought you were cosplaying Mike Monahan.
Yes, which was one of the guys that ran the convention. They thought I was cosplaying the guy running the convention. I went, "Sure, let's say that. I'm doing that."
Because that's how he dresses.
If it's flattering, I can dress like that. He dresses like a 1970s reporter. So it'll be a vest and a t-shirt, and then like rust-colored.
This is a real 1970s cotton dress. Too small for me again.
That when
but it's a proper real one. It's never been worn. It was in its package.
Oh, really?
I did buy a few 1970s things and got them back home. And I thought, oh, lovely. Acrylic. Oh, yeah, they're really tiny.
Is this acrylic?
No, this is cotton. No, it's cool though. It's cotton. It doesn't really fit me.
Now, let me tell you two about a store. We have a place in Richmond, which is the capital of Virginia. There's a place called Bird Theater. It's a 1920s theater that's been redone, and it has the Wurlitzer that comes out of the floor that they used to play during some of the movies, and it's all beautiful and grand, and I could send pictures. It's incredible. But right next door is a small shop called Bygones, and they have stuff. Ben, you remember earlier you said, "Oh, my vintage clothing, I think from maybe 1900 to 1970."
About 1970.
That's what they carry. She picked up a flapper dress. They have boater hats. They have braces or suspenders for the legs or the upper body.
Or you can wear them on. You can wear them over leggings, can't you? The men's ones.
Can you?
Over the legs?
Yeah, I wore one. I bought those burgundy ones, which were really cool. Over my leggings, but I just let the buckles sort of like hang. So I thought, oh, what can I do with these? And you said, there's a guys, and I wore them over leggings.
You wore my sock suspenders.
They weren't yours. The burgundy ones weren't yours. I bought them for me, and I didn't realise at the time. Like I thought, what are these?
The truth's out now. I mean,
no, but they were mine, and I gave them to you, the burgundy ones.
Yeah, which means they're mine, surely.
Yeah, but they weren't yours to start off with. I might take it back.
Maybe you could get long gloves and wear the men's sock garters on you.
Yes. I was trying to work out something different with them. Or you could, sometimes they use them around hats.
That would be weird around your arm. I suppose you could do that. It's not a bad idea, that.
Toei asks, is Bygone still overpriced? I haven't been there in a long while. Yes and no. 70% of their stuff is overpriced because it is most of it is actual vintage. Some are recreations. But if you go in there and you search...
Well, I mean, that's why I like vintage, though, because you can charge, what's necessary, because it's a one-off, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a niche, so people pay extra for it.
I don't sell my
yes,
stuff.
Toei.
I love that pronunciation, niche.
Yeah, niche.
Because we call it niche over here.
For years I called it niche, but growing up I always used British pronunciations, and I don't know why. I always did, though. I said herb instead of herb, and so on.
Yeah.
It has an H. Yeah.
Then stop touching my head.
I like it.
You're making my head hot.
It was just a year
doing that so that I don't say anything I shouldn't.
No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's okay. So it's like a puppet control, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was a year ago.
Give me the back, so don't shut up.
I looked up the word niche, and according to dictionary.com, the proper pronunciation is niche. But dictionary.com, it is an American website.
Americanism.
So now you tell me it's niche. I want to go back to saying niche because it feels more natural to me.
But encourage you to use the word niche because it is. I think it's the correct pronunciation.
Well, even when I'm typing and writing, I always put a U in words that in the U.S. you don't have a U in it. But for me, when I'm typing fast and not paying attention, that U appears because it's natural to me for no good reason. I had an Irish grandmother. Go ahead.
That might explain it.
She didn't teach me how to type or write or spell or speak. She was just a grandmother, not somebody who raised me. I don't know, but
I have a little trivia here, or little fact.
Yeah.
Because I work in paint, I mix paint and things for another job. When people come to me for their colors, I'm like, "Is it gray with an A or an E?" They're like, "What?"
A.
Well, the American version, gray is an A. For the English version, the British version, it's an E.
So just think,
and that's how I remember
English, A for American.
A for American, yeah.
See, and Toei, who is also one of my author friends, we actually created a great card game called Awkward Compliments together. But she says, my bad typing looks more like Middle English. Does it look like you were writing in Tolkien Dwarvish? Just a bunch of runes and scribbles.
Oh, no.
On our bookshelf, we have a book called, it's about this thick, and it's called Right Word, Right Time, or something like that.
Oh, the right word at the right time.
Yeah, and that's a really good book. Not that I've
That was
read it.
Reader's Digest or something, I think.
Was it? It's massive. It's cool.
Yeah. I think my parents used to be members of the Reader's Digest.
Did they buy that for you?
Out there? I don't know.
Yes, it is an American publication initially, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it? Okay. So I used to, and they used to, they used to say, what books would you like? And there'd be a brochure, and I used to kind of order encyclopedias and books on etiquette and grammar.
I kind of miss encyclopedias because at least the information was verified, whereas searching something online, you don't know if it's right. You don't.
You just don't know. No. I mean, there's a website out there called Uncyclopedia, which is it's like a lying version of Wikipedia, and I think people sometimes end up on this, and it's very confusing.
I was on the site yesterday, and this teacher, I can't remember his name, this American guy was speaking, a teacher, and he was just saying how the percentages of people reading these days, it's really sort of going down. People are just going to, the internet. They're not reading books as much as what he was saying. I don't know how true that is. I can believe it, though.
Oh, by the way, hey, Mo.
Can't believe that if you read that on the internet.
Mo, we just sent one of those.
No, he had percentages.
That's on its way, Mo.
I mean, it's Steampunk.
I just sent one of those to one of our...
It was supposed to be a surprise.
Oh. Damn it. Why?
Forget what he said, Mo. Well, since we're here talking about convivial, how do you say it?
Convivial.
Yeah. Do you not have that word? You don't have that word over there?
I don't think we do.
Oh, okay.
I never heard it.
It's not in common usage anymore.
Is it not? It should be.
Yeah.
So when's the next event?
So the next event is July the 28th and 29th. So 2-day event. And hello, I don't know what that was. So we hire out a pub called the Royal Oak, and a church which is directly opposite, basically because we overran the church, and it has a function room in it, which has a minstrel gallery in it. It's really old, and I love it. It's sort of built in 1800s.
Not allowed up in the minstrel gallery, though, are you?
Not anymore. No, they've health and safety. They've said no, you can't go up there. But we're going to try and change that.
Now, let me ask you. Is this the place that Jeanette told us about, where it shuts down at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and then it's just you on the streets?
What?
Where did you go?
No, that might have been Crew. She was talking about Crew, possibly.
I thought that would be great to have a whole town just to the 20 or 200 or 2,000 of you wandering around.
Oh, no, that was probably Asylum. Lincoln Asylum, she might have mentioned. That's a really big event. Yeah, we tend not to go to that one. But with the Convivial...
It clashes with... Only because it clashes with stuff we do. So
with the Convivial, it's Yeah, it's just a lovely event. We take over the whole pub, and they let us do whatever we want. We've had Morris dancing going on inside the pub.
What is Morris dancing?
Right.
Yeah. What is Morris dancing?
Yes, for the colonial. Tell
well,
us.
it's our British ethnic,
weird pagan
regional, pagan traditional dancing.
All naked,
where
all the time.
No, predominantly it's danced by men wearing bells. Bells and hankies and sticks.
He's laughing.
There's a lot of sticks involved.
And they jump up in the air.
A lot of jumping in the
air.
air.
We'll have to show you a video somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you can probably Google Morris dancing and find out exactly what it's about. But we tend to have that. We sometimes dancing outside the pub, sometimes inside, sometimes in the church.
Depending if it's only bells and hankies.
What about the steampunk dancers? There are some steampunk Morris dancers. They make it a little bit more funky.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun, and yeah, I mean, we like dancing. We have belly dancing as well going on in the church generally.
Andrew's very familiar.
We like belly dancing.
He's done
Ben
a lot
goes
of it.
missing in that song.
Does
it's good fun. No, I like.
Where's Ben? Oh, he's just making sure the belly dancers are doing okay.
Pole dancing sometimes. Tasteful.
Yeah,
those are the men again, just in bells and hankies. That's all.
Yeah, sometimes. Actually, pole dancing is really hard to do. I had to go.
I tried. It's really hard.
I couldn't get up the pole. She leaves her, equipment behind, and she's just amazing. No, I didn't. I tried just till I was wearing jeans and I was trying to climb up the pole. I couldn't even carry my own weight. But she can hold herself up vertically and she's just got such strong legs and amazing.
Hannah Spring, that was
amazing.
She's amazing. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Dancer. We have music. We have music acts like Victor and the Bully playing, and Montague Jack from Arsh, who you may know from.
We are very familiar with Monty. We have hung out with him many times in many places. And
excellent.
Yeah, I would even say
Mirror in the Moon.
The show with him.
Okay.
Have you heard of Mirror in the Moon?
Steampunk show.
No, haven't heard Mirror in the Moon.
Good. Amazing singers. Just three of them. Just really good.
Ben.
So how does someone get tickets to your event?
Okay, so we have a little website that I sort of constructed with my bare hands, which is harpsfest.com.
Your hands are for bears?
Yeah, chiefly.
I'm washing up.
Yeah, I like washing up. But if you go to harpsfest.com, which is like a festival of harps, you end up on our website, which kind of leads you to places to buy tickets and things. And I try and make it as cheap as possible because I'm trying to set up an event that I would want to go to. And I like events where you pay for one ticket and that covers everything. I don't like events where you pay for one wristband and then you kind of have to pay for an evening event. And
I agree. Now, there are certain things I understand. If there's a steak dinner included or some kind of expensive meal, I understand a little extra. But in general, to go in and see a special performance or whatever, I don't understand that. I agree with you. Let me ask you two things. First of all, as you have these personalities, these guests, these musicians, please feel free to direct them towards us so we can help more people find them. It's something we'd like to do. Now, the second thing is, when you're done describing the rest, I want to hear about your games, because they have become somewhat infamous with the craziness that you have pulled out of actual history that people are doing, as well as I think you have Battle Croquet. Is that you?
Battle Croquet, yeah. We do Battle Croquet.
Those sort of things. So, I'll turn it back over to you, and I'll hush and just let you wander on into that direction.
Okay, well, Battle Croquet started because we had a planning meeting, which we held in the pub, and we sort of were trying to plan an event, and there was a couple of people there. Conrad was there, and Sir Angus Poislamp, and they just got basically they just had one drink after another, and they started laughing a lot, and they were talking about croquet and Battle Croquet, and nobody really understood what they were talking about, but they seemed to know.
Because they were Scottish.
And they devised, they've devised this very violent version of croquet, because croquet is quite boring to watch actually, which is why it fell out of favour. So they've rediscovered the original rules of croquet, which involves two teams of croquet players going at it against each other in real time across a battlefield made of hoops. So we have trenches made of hoops laid out into a battlefield. And they're trying to protect a field marshal, which is essentially a ball balanced on an egg cup. And the idea is that you make your way through the hoops and you try to knock the opponent's field marshal off his little egg cup throne.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to interrupt if I may. Andrea, when we have our next party and we have croquet, this is the version we need to play.
This is the version. This is the one.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a league.
Okay, go on.
There's a league and there's a website. You need about 4 referees. So one is the head ref, and the others are the line refs, and they all wear fezzes.
Nice.
They have to wear fezzes because if they spot anything untoward happening, for example, if one of the spy balls, which I could explain, there's a spy ball. The spy ball is the only person who is allowed to knock the opponent's field marshal off his throne. The other two are grenadier guards, and they're guarding the spy ball as he makes his way through the trenches. So if a referee spots a spy or a grenadier guard crossing a hoop crossing a trench without going through a hoop, he then casts the fez onto the battlefield, which stops play. Okay.
I have a question. If we make it out to your event, I want to do a live broadcast of this, like a sporting event, like a soccer football game. Cool.
Oh, we should do that. Definitely.
And I'll have my mobile camera, and I will run around the field and commentate the whole damn thing off the field, not in the way of play. But
sounds perfect.
Yeah. Corset limbo.
We encourage that. Oh, we'll come to that.
Corset limbo.
No, we definitely need to discuss that. Yeah, but let's finish with this, and then we'll go to that. Go ahead.
Well, I'll just try and give you a little overview of the rules. So there's another thing. So once the line ref has cast his fez onto the battlefield and stopped play, he then has to try and indicate using interpretive dance or sign language what's gone wrong. And then the head ref has to apply a penalty. He has to try and interpret that for the spectators and apply a penalty. We have a bomb warden, because there's a bomb that goes off after 8 minutes. Because it's an 8-minute game. If you don't defeat the field marshal in 8 minutes, then you have to swap sides.
I don't remember.
What else? Oh, every player is equipped with a bunch of flowers. Okay, that's important, because if they throw a bunch of flowers onto the pitch at any point, it distracts all of the referees, and they walk over to the flowers, and they will start picking them up and discussing how beautiful they are, the arrangement. Whilst they're doing that, you can cheat.
Oh, nice. Andrea, by the way, I have noticed, the flowers that you threw into the front garden area? Somebody brought her flowers when we had a party a couple weeks ago, and since they were passing, she took them and threw them into the garden area as fertilizer. The purple ones are still in full bloom.
Oh,
wow. The other ones have passed on and moved on into flower heaven, but the purple ones are like, fuck you, we're going to live. I don't know.
You see, my pansies were purple, and they still
I am sure they are just as exciting as the flowers.
See, you would make a really good referee, because you get easily distracted by flowers.
I was outside throwing, we had a few oranges that had reached a point where we could eat them, but we probably shouldn't. So I'm tossing them out for the crows, because I'm hoping to attract crows. I like the crows. And the squirrels. Not worried about the other birds. We have hummingbird feeders, though. And as I'm doing this, I looked into the garden area that when I first moved in here 4 years ago, Andrea says, oh, I want a garden. I says, great, use this area. And she went, great. And she threw seeds down and walked away for 7 months. And I'm like, it's a weed garden. I mowed it all down. I went, you can't have it. She goes, no, I want to plant flowers. I went, okay, well, you could plant flowers. And then she put down rocks so it keeps the water out of it, put in a bird feeder, put in some Smurfs, and some other gnomes, like gnomes in Zen yoga poses. And then she sprinkled seed and walked away, and it turned into a weed garden. I'm like, damn it, woman!
But it's pretty weeds. They're
Yeah,
pretty.
I have pretty weeds in my garden.
There are.
Yeah. They still flower, some of them.
Well,
Yeah.
we have another one on the other side of the porch that we put mulch in, and I only let the pretty weeds grow. The other weeds, I'm down there pulling them out. It is her domain, but if she doesn't get out there, I get to a point where I'm like,
I did have really nice flowers, and the neighbor's goats ate them all.
very true.
Goats.
Yeah,
Our neighbour used to have goats.
it's ours. Ours no longer has goats or pigs. I don't think they have cows either. They are down.
I think they ate them.
They probably did. It's just chickens. Now, I want to also interrupt, and then I want to come back and talk about the corset limbo. Can we play the other song that you gave us?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be rude and step away for a refill while I play this, but
Okay.
let me check the title because it doesn't. Hold on, let me make this larger. It says, Feeling the Rain for 83 is the file name. Is that the correct name, or is it just Feeling the Rain?
Oh, why did you give him that song? I
No.
knew you'd give him that song.
Tixie's fed up with this song.
Yeah, I write different songs. He always chooses the same songs all the time.
This song was we played during the London Parade. So the London New Year Parade is a kind of it's a huge parade thing, and we got asked to parade through London with this gigantic mechanical horse. And we sort of selected some steampunks to march with us. And this was the song that we were marching to, so I thought it'd be good to send it to you.
Tixie, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this better for you. We're going to play the song, okay? But since it is a almost 5-minute long song, while we're in that song, Ben is going to take the one song you want us to play and send it to me via Facebook, and I will download it, and we will play it later in the show. Is that okay?
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to just sing live, really.
Would you rather sing live? Ben, do you have something that... Why don't you two discuss it while we're in the song?
Yeah, okay.
And if I don't have a file, we will expect ukuleles, tambourines, cymbals, and a backup band.
Okay, we could try. We don't really have a very good microphone here, but we could try.
You don't have a microphone here, it won't pick it up?
Well...
Okay.
Yeah, take a little
That's really you could do it, couldn't you?
But I think play the track.
Well, here's the thing: just mute while he plays the songs. Y'all discuss it.
Discuss. We'll expect a wild, very active discussion, something like battle croquet. But
I had a mallet. I did have a mallet today.
There we go.
I was using the mallet in the garden.
So if you mute yourself, we'll play the song. I'll refill this, and we'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Take the bits I like and leave the rest of me behind. I'll run from them, never looking back. They've grown into something I can't control. They're huge, huge monsters, and they'll eat me for breakfast. Looking for approval, but they've got none to give. I'd run out of time before they'd even smile. What am I waiting for? They've always been the same. It hurts them even having to speak my name. Da 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 da, la da da dum 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 da 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 da, la da 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 da. how did I get here? It seems okay, except for the monsters. Did they bury all their good memories in with the bad? Why are they so sad? I can't stop that. Is this a dream? Am I awake? I'm scanning the horizon for another way. So God help me to get there, for they zap me of my energy. I've hardly room to breathe. I need your security. No personal pyramid. You know my secret. If I can take the bits I like and leave the rest of me behind, I'll run from them, never looking back. They've grown into something I can't control. They're huge, huge monsters, and they make me nervous. La da 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 da, la da da da, dum dum dum. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Da da da, la da da da
Wonderful there, wonderful. Now, I do have a couple comments, a couple questions, a couple redirects to other conversations. First of all, on your website, it says under the About page, it says, I should warn you that we've had comments that the day is a shambolic, badly organized weekend of chaotic madness, and that it is a circus if a circus has crash-landed on a fancy dress wedding day. We strive to uphold that standard. I really think that translates well to today's show. I'm glad we could fit, at least in my mind, what you have stated there in your About page. It's now we need to talk about Bumbershoot Baritsu.
Bumbershoot Baritsu.
Yes, and by the way, I do want to say, whenever I go to conventions, I have thoughts, opinions, criticisms, constructive criticisms, hopefully.
Sure.
And I see here you have Jenga as a opener.
Yes. We have a little tiny table, a circular table, which I try and cram lots of chairs around, and we have a Jenga tower there, which is an icebreaker.
I love the idea of the icebreaker, because that first day of a con or an event is to get to know other people, either reconnect with people that you've met in passing, or meet new people, or
meet someone new.
Yeah. And I've always encouraged conventions on Fridays. Don't do something where you crowd people into a dark room and watch a movie or whatever. Create events that are interactive so people can meet new people, as well as visit with old friends. So
definitely,
kudos on Jenga. Great idea.
Oh,
I love that.
It's such fun, and you can play it with anyone at any age group. And the thing about Steampunk I like is that it's got all ages. You know, it transcends age barriers. And with Jenga, we've had people that are tiny steampunks playing with with old chaps and or older ladies, and I think it's lovely.
Let me ask you, Ben.
Tixie's back with rice pudding.
As we're broadening Steampunk into an actual thing here.
Ben said I shouldn't sing live.
Hang on, Tina. Sorry. Okay. I'm just going to plug in my wife.
Go ahead.
Into the Matrix.
No.
Sorry.
We were discussing something here, and we'll get right back to your rice pudding. We have rice pudding, but I'd like to compare the UK ones to the American ones, because Americans put so much.
Rachel's divine.
They put so much salt and sugar in everything.
Oh yeah,
it just kills the flavor.
This is cream.
Oh, see, that's
true.
Yes,
it is.
This is lovely.
So, by the way, I want to discuss Fling a Familiar in a moment, as well as Ibaritsu.
Okay.
But I think with Ginpunk, not that I want to not include children, but I don't want to include children. I want to give this a much more adult feel, so you can be, because we're different people in front of our friends' kids. In front of our kids, we're assholes. In front of other people's kids, we're upright.
Well, they didn't have kids in the speakeasy either.
That's right. It was an adult thing. I mean, it's specifically about booze and not being able to drink it, but drinking it anyway, which I think it's an adult behavior, isn't it?
And I think if we're going to have children involved, they need to learn to mix the drinks for us. and not partake, because I think it's important.
Get them working. Yes.
It's important to learn about alcohol before you partake of alcohol and see people drinking too much and being stupid, so don't do that. So I think children are wonderful bartenders.
I think our friend told us the other day that his brother gave him, I don't know, I can't remember which drink it was now, but it was cider. And he was like very young. The younger brother was, I don't know, 5 or 6, and the older brother gave him cider to drink, and he drank a whole pint down, and then he was sick. Where's his parents?
I blame the parents.
That is a valuable lesson, though. My first time drinking, I was 13, skipped school, went to a friend's house, and drank way more than I ever should have for a 13-year-old. And then they fried bologna in a skillet and fed it to me.
Now, what is bologna?
Bologna is a horrible pork blend of meats into a flat circular disc that when you fry it, it then becomes like an igloo-like dome. And some people swear by it.
Similar to Spam? Is it like Spam?
No, it is like Spam light. If you have beer and then you have light beer, you have Spam, then you have bologna.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's very flavorless, but it's a meat.
No.
No, okay.
If you fry it up, it is really good.
Okay.
Unless if you're
Spam needs to be fried.
Yeah, well, Spam has its place. It's a horrible little meat that has a really dear place in many of our hearts.
But if you fry it up, it's pretty good.
There you go. You need to fry it.
My mum never bothered to read the instructions, so as kids she used to give it to us raw. I'd be like.
I introduced Tixie to fried spam because she'd only had raw. I call it raw spam. I mean, you can eat it cold,
That's cruelty to children.
I'm going to interrupt. Max RPG John, who runs a local comic and game store, he just said, "Be back in a bit" on the Twitch channel. John, damn it, we didn't even know you were here, man. What do you mean, be back in a bit?
He's going off for a refill, probably. Yeah.
He's just going to chuck
heading to the bar. That's what he's doing.
He's just going to chuck his spam in the bin.
It could be. Still better than Spam. Possibly, yeah. But raw Spam, when it has that little gel of fat and grease around it, oh, no, put it...
That's like...
No, that's a sort of a cooking oil.
Exactly.
I'm sure
Precisely. That's
supposed to have...
So, okay.
Yeah, just don't eat that raw.
No.
Ben has haggis tinned haggis, and it's in the fridge, and I keep opening the fridge, and it looks like dog food, and if he doesn't eat it soon, I'm going to bin it.
You're talking to a man with a kilt on.
Haggis!
But I'm Irish.
You have haggis?
No.
You have haggis out there?
I have never tried it. Now, here's my rule on weird foods. Whether it's liver and onions, haggis, or whatever. The only time I want to try it is when somebody's grandmother cooked it. Because grandmothers...
If you go to where it originated.
Yeah.
They know how to prepare it.
They know best.
Yeah.
Now, I have family.
They would
in
fry
Ireland.
spam.
They would fry their spam, which really anybody should. Okay, so let's talk about bumpershoot baritza, which is defined as the correct and official term for umbrella fencing. Ben, there are two very special, perhaps more than two. No, there are more than two. There are various special rules to this. You want to tell us about the equipment?
Well, okay, I'll try and tell you about the equipment. So, umbrella fencing essentially is quite a dangerous activity, where you have a sieve as a face mask. Okay, just a standard sieve, and on top of that, you've got two little spiral. You know the little spiral egg cups. They're sort of attached to the top of the sieve, and then sitting on top of that,
two type spirals.
Oh, you don't have egg cups, do you? In America, you don't have egg cups.
We haven't had them since like 1938 or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, we still use egg cups a lot over here. Yeah. So, essential part of battle croquet and also of bumbershoot baritsu. So, with umbrella fencing, the sieve has the egg cups balanced on top, which has balls sitting on top of the egg cups.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're attached by strings, one slightly longer than the other one, to the sieve. Okay, so you're holding that in front of your face. You then have an umbrella, and the idea originally was that you were to try to grasp your weapon by the shaft and knock your opponent's balls off.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Yeah, go with that.
So it's all narrated as well. We tend to have two narrators. And we found this to be very dangerous, because if you move the sieve slightly and somebody lunges, then you're possibly going to get an umbrella in your face. So I thought of introducing some health and safety measures.
For the Yanks, for the colonists listening, the reason, the umbrellas, they're the old umbrellas that have the metal tips, not these little expand, press a button ones. They're real umbrellas.
These are proper umbrellas, yes. We don't have those. No, we don't have the telescopic ones. Not really. No. So they're ones with proper nice wooden handles, and some of them one of them's got a sword handle. Anyway, so I thought to make this safer, what we need to do is have little leather boxing gloves, miniature leather boxing gloves.
I have one in the room, in the bedroom, where it belongs.
Well, imagine that miniaturized and sewn onto the end of the umbrella, so that it becomes a safe thing. When jabbed, you're just going to get a little leather punch, and also sort of 1950s glass dome space helmets as well over your face, so you've got a second layer of protection. Now, although this protects your face from the umbrellas, from the onslaught of the jabbing, it also introduces the added element of risk, because it depletes your oxygen source after about a couple of minutes. So if you don't defeat your opponent, you start running out of air because it's hermetically sealed around your head. So it's quite a dangerous sport still, really. But it's good fun. But that's bumbershoot baritsu, and we play that regularly.
So Fling a Familiar, you want to tell us about Fling a Familiar?
Okay. You don't have familiar cannons over there, do you, in the States?
No. See, long in my history of before steampunk Renaissance fairs, I would carry, though I didn't call it a familiar, I would carry something like a familiar, and people were fascinated by it. They're like, "Oh my God, what do you have there?" So I am just naturally inclined to this concept.
You understand it. So a familiar is what it's another word for it, I suppose, would be a stuffed toy of some sort, or an animal. But we tend to carry them and steampunk them. So they might have tiny goggles on, or a little flying outfit of some sort. Anyway, so there was an author in this country called Kit Cox, who I must introduce you to. He's a lovely chap. And he couldn't stand the fact that these familiars were starting to get Facebook pages, and he was starting to get messages from familiars, which he was thinking,
I don't want to talk to a puppet.
Yeah, so I sort of thought, well, would it be a good idea if I invented I think originally I said if I invented a catapult for these familiars, and we could have a competition to see how far we can fling them away from you. And he thought that was a good idea. And after a few months, I thought about it and thought, no, it should be a cannon, really. So I wrote him another message and said, no, what? The cannon is sort of progressing. And then eventually it turned into the idea of having a bazooka. because bazookas are very interesting. You
Only
sort of
natural.
hold them over your shoulder, and so you have somebody that is basically aiming the bazooka, and you have somebody that loads the bazooka with the familiar, and you have a plinger who plings the familiar, and we try to launch them as far away from Kit Cox as we possibly can.
As far away from
generally
what?
into from Kit, because he doesn't like these.
Oh, Kit Cox. I'm sorry.
doesn't
Yeah,
like this
the author.
Yeah, we try to fling them.
I was thinking Kit Cox was something dirty, but go on.
No, steady on. No, so that's the idea, and we tend to fling them either into a hat or onto a target, or onto a Jenga tower. We try to knock the tower down sometimes.
That's sensible, especially if it's during the intro playing event.
Yeah. So none of these sports, battle croquet, bumper shoot baritsu, familiar flinging, these are all totally modern, silly inventions that could have been. They're from the alternate timeline, I suppose. But I try to introduce proper Victorian parlour games as well into the convivials as much as I can.
I'm scrolling down your game page, and I see genius judges, and the most hip flasks concealed on a steampunk.
It was 111.
Wow, really?
And that was, we even disallowed some miniatures. He had some miniatures hidden on him as well. I think it was Scott Harrison. Yeah, we searched him thoroughly, and he had 111 hip flasks concealed on his person, several miniatures, and they all contained some sort of alcohol, and we had to test them all. As judges.
I assume he would have looked like a medieval knight just coated in these things.
No, you know what? They were really well concealed. I think he was wearing a pith helmet and sort of military outfit. You wouldn't have known there were any. Oh, hello. As if by magic.
Once you said 111, I was done. So I'm like, I've got like 12. I thought I was in the running. No, I'm not.
111 is going to be hard to beat.
Someone gave us one. Rob Maven gave us one, and it was going back to the garter. It was attached to a garter. Well, it was a bit heavy, but it was really cool. So the women could wear it, around a garter. And I thought that was
and smuggle booze in.
Well, God bless them, every one of them.
Well, that's why you need a garter belt to hold that heavy.
Yeah. This was. Yeah, the garter belt you'd put it on wasn't very strong.
Garter belt? Did you just say garter belt?
I did. I said garter belt. Dude.
You're perverting my wife.
You're welcome. Now, it is time for another refill break. Shall we take the video refill break and have a moment to go refill and whatever else?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, let's do that. Remember, mute yourselves, watch for the thumbs up, and I will end the break early if we're all ready. If you don't give me a thumbs up, I'll just wait. Okay.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Sit right back and relax, or get up and get a drink and refill what you have, while the cast and cohorts and co-hosts of Talk of the Tavern do the same. Now here's the testimony of some of the great people we've had on Talk of the Tavern or previously on Sounds of Steam. Enjoy.
This is Gail Carragher, author of The Finishing School and the Custard Protocol series, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Aiden Sivart, Steampunk Indiana Jones.
Hey, this is Scott.
This is Samantha.
And we're Frenching the Punk.
I'm Karen Kay, also known as the Fairy Lady and editor of Fame magazine and also founder of Fairy Events.
This is K.W. Jeter, author of Infernal Devices and Fiendish Schemes.
Kircher here. I play Bifur in the Hobbit trilogy, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Trevor Crafts, executive producer and creator of Lantern City.
This is Lord Bobbins of Teslacon. Huzzah!
Steampunk Funk Bizarre here, Lord Monty right in front of your radio.
Hello, this is Professor Elemental. When I'm not taking a bath in gin or trying to invent a new kind of badger, I'm listening. Oh, yes!
This is Stephen Davis of Raising Steam UK, 2-day Steampunk Festival in Reading. Enjoy.
I'm Thomas Williford of Brute Force Studios, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Commander Bob of Victor Sierra.
Je suis la légendaire princesse convertie de Victor Sierra.
Hi, my name is Sarah from Valentine Wolf.
Hey, this is Braxton from Valentine Wolf.
This is Aileen the Peacemaker, the founding editor of Beyond Victoriana, the multicultural steampunk blog.
Hey, this is Joseph C.R. Vortek, otherwise known as Electro Swing Neo Vintage DJ Vortek, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern. I hope you come out of it in one piece. I'm not sure I did.
And don't forget about our other shows during the week. Tuesday, Middle Aged Gamers on Wednesday, and Virtual International Pub VIP on Thursdays. Make sure you join us there, 1 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m.
Hi, my name is Ashley Rogers. I'm the organizer of the Copper Claw.
This is Calamity Dawn, mixologist of Airship Passepartout.
This is Commodore Lorpicar of Lost Saints Curiosities.
This is Jimmy Diggs of the Crypto Historians, reminding you that the future is in your hands.
This is Gabrielle Reel.
Hi, this is D. Clarence Snyder, writer of the Bright Future series, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Professor Marcus O'Bannon, the Chief Scientific Investigator for the Crypto Historians.
This is Lady Gatita of Nerdvana.
Hey, this is Angie Velo from Ghostfire.
This is Hannah Titania, Queen of the Fairies.
This is Jeff Platt of Highland Steamworks.
This is Danielle Ackley McPhail, co-author of Baba Ali and the Clockwork Djinn, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern Radio.
Hi, this is John R. White, author of The Tales of the Airship Neverland.
This is Catherine Gleason, author of Anatomy of Steampunk, The Fashion of Victorian Futurism.
This is opera singer Katie Catt.
This is Keith Prusak of Bad September.
This is Captain James Barrington of the mighty Claxton.
This is Emily Leverett, and I'm the editor of Big Bad and Anthology of Evil, Volumes 1 and 2, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hola Radio Escuchas, les habla Lady Smoke de Sociedad de Steampunk Argentina y Sindicato Dieselpunk.
This is Melanie Grace with Live Steamy.
We are Warren and Betsy Talbot of MarriedWithLuggage.com.
This is Christopher Meeker, author of Hawthorne, Chronicles of the Brass Hand.
This is Mickey Wonderland, Steampunk Fairy Princess of Wonderland with a fresh cup of Mad Hatter tea.
Hi, this is Margaret McGraw, author of the prompt writing blog WritersSpark.com, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Hello, this is Mishkin from Bird Eats Baby.
This is Nim Derringer of Airship Hypatia.
This is Painless Parker.
This is Persephone Burroughs Dimebagger, co-captain of the Airship Hypatia.
This is Psyche of Psyche Corporation.
Ahoy, me darlings. This is Misty Massey, author of Mad Kestrel, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
I'm Ellie Ann from Steampunk Homes, author of Slice of Life and The Silver Sickle. Hope you enjoy the show.
This is Captain Jared Cornwall of the Melanie Rose.
Hi, this is Lucy Luminos with Tinker the Web Series.
This is Travis Fessler, the steam-powered circus freak from the Pickled Brothers Circus.
This is Scott Norman of The Wars of Other Men.
I'm Mr. Cat of the Cat in Black Art, and you are listening to Talk of the Tavern.
This is Wendy Callahan, author of The Cronus Clock.
This is Daniel Burrow, creator of Tefra, the steampunk role-playing game, Cheers and Gears, and Good Gaming.
This is Tempest Wolf, actor and producer of Tinker Web Series, Tinker by name, Tinker by nature.
This is Shelley Dusick, the captain of Vandalia Con, and you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Did you know Talk of the Tavern also publishes books? Make sure you look us up online. We're on Amazon.com.
Okay, and we're back here for the third hour, which normally on Monday night we make this our inappropriate hour. It's, I think we're doing fine on the level we're having, and a quick cheer to Mo for supporting us with those bits. Thank you, Mo.
Bits.
Which we often innuendo into the inappropriate thing of they put their bits in our face.
They sent their bits to me. Oh, it's strange, yeah. Don't want that.
Well, it all depends who it is and how recently they bathed.
I suppose there's that.
Yes. Even if you can't touch, you can still...
Get your hands off my bits!
Stop poking my bits! Never a good idea. Well, sometimes a good idea. Anyhow.
Oh, here comes Milady.
Oh,
she's back again.
Very good.
Oh,
there's been a costume
Lady
change.
in red. Oh, there's been a costume change. Help! I'm being.
Man, I cannot help you at all. You are on your own on this one.
Let me plug her in.
There you go.
There you are. Let me just insert that in there. Lovely.
So now I am riling the troops to see if we can. I feel like with everything we've been discussing, we need to do a group trip to your event because the American...
Oh, you should do that.
Have you been to an American Steampunk event?
Yeah, it's got a spare room, hasn't she?
Oh, well.
No, I've run my passport's run out. I've got to get that looks a bit weird.
They banned her from every country.
Well
Oh
done.
yeah, like I went to America in the I think it was the 80s sometime. Oh, I can't remember. And then we came across this video a few years back, and it was like some radio station, and they were saying Tina Delgado is alive, and that was my name then, because I just went off and I didn't like sort of tell anybody I was going back home. And I was thinking, I wonder if that was about me.
You can buy badges with that phrase on.
Yeah, it's really weird. So I'm thinking,
You ever heard of that phrase? I don't know if you've...
No, never had. But I'll tell you what, whether it's about you or not, you should say it's about you, because, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add to the mythos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was funny.
So we've got more here, and we don't have to talk about it all. I'm just, I love the idea of enforced ventriloquy.
Oh, that's so fun. That's the best game.
So I had this idea of trying to...
Should have got him.
He's downstairs. He's locked away in my laboratory downstairs.
It's too creepy.
So I decided to make a ventriloquist dummy, which I thought wouldn't be too hard to make. And I thought it'd be nice to make one that's... Oh, hello.
Just showing you some of
the
lovely ornaments that we have.
Just like
we have our own bellboy. Yeah.
Don't forget the cup of tea, please.
So I made a ventriloquist dummy, and you know these mouth wideners you can get that dentists use sometimes? You stick them in your teeth and
I'm going to interrupt. Jeanette, wonderful to see you. Thank you for suggesting these guests. They have been delightful. We are happy to see you pop in on the show, and it's about damn time. Okay, go on.
Okay, so I basically made a ventriloquist dummy, and it's quite hard. I was researching how they used to make them, and you've got to have a sort of a framework underneath the sort of the skin, if you like. So it was near Halloween, and I just bought a skull and used the skull as the basis for it, and then bought the rescue dummies that you can practice mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on.
I know them intimately. You don't have to use your mouth. Go on.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're using. Anyway, so I used the face of one of those, and I sort of stapled it to the skull.
Like you do.
I saw the face first.
Like you do.
I saw the face first, and I saw it at Think Vintage. And I thought, oh, look at that. That'd be really cool. And I thought, oh, no, it's just too creepy. And then we got to the end of our purchases, and Ben said, look what I bought. And I went, oh, no.
Yeah, it came home with me, and it's turned into this thing. So it's now this dummy, and, it's got a proper mechanism on it. It moves its eyes and it moves its mouth. So the idea is you put the mouth widener in, which means you can't move your mouth at all. You just got to sort of talk like that.
So
everybody looks like a Wallace and Gromit creature if they wear that.
There's a tricked ventriloquism where you put a device in your mouth.
Funny.
No, not at all. But
have you got one? You can
I don't have one. I don't have one up here. No.
Does it go in your mouth or the dummy's mouth?
It goes in your mouth. So imagine a piece of plastic.
That's a very nice thing to call the person who's going to be.
Imagine a piece of plastic that goes in your mouth and stops you from being able to move your lips at all.
So it keeps you.
That's what it does.
Some people can't get it into their mouth, it pushes your gums. It exposes your gums, and you can't talk, and you dribble, and then they give them cards to read, and they can't. They all sound the same, don't they? It's just very, very.
Well, they sound like ventriloquists, really.
Yeah.
I'll try and send you a link if I can. Mouth widener, and it's Oh, there they are. I'll send you. Oh no, those are horrible. Ugh. No, we don't want any of those. That's disgusting. No, stop that. I'm getting off those.
It's so much better than the ball guide people usually try to send me.
Actually, I might get some of those. Those are cool.
Oh no, Andrea fell off her chair. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Never mind. Carry on.
So that's the idea, and we tend to give people phrases or maybe a poem to read, and people have to try and guess what on earth it is they're talking about. But it just gets. It's usually the end of the evening we try and do it.
You should do that like earlier. It's so funny.
Yeah,
Hey, Andrea, do you have your Google Eye hand thing? We'll wait for her to unfreeze and she can answer that. It's
frozen, poor thing.
Oh, there she
there we are.
So, she's going to get him. Hold on. So I'm wondering if this would work for a ventriloquism dummy, because I don't necessarily have the time, talent, or interest in creating a whole dummy. So let's give her a second. Oh, she's coming back.
I've got a 1960s one in the cupboard.
Oh, creepy.
What's this?
Yeah,
what have we got?
Just the head. Ben wants to use that, but I won't let him. It's
want
worth
to use that?
about £70. You're not having it, Ben.
It's a heavy.
It's 70 quid.
You actually gave that to me.
I'm taking it back.
Got it. Hello.
So do you have this, Andrew?
You go down there.
When I'm trying to do our post, our social media posts, I freeze up. That's what I was doing.
Okay, that's all right.
So would this work for a ventriloquism dummy?
That would work.
Okay.
That would work. That's kind of cute. Oh, I like them.
You know how
that would have been so much easier than making an entire ventriloquist dummy.
They could be in free for a speaker.
Yeah, you know
cute.
You have Poundland, right? You're familiar with Poundland.
We do have Poundland,
yeah.
We have the dollar store, and they sell these at the dollar store. The
we need to get some of those, Tixie.
Oh, we will.
Well, here's the thing. Give me your address. I'll send you some.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we will. It's
I'll do that now.
Because at $1 a piece,
they're lovely.
You get an assortment of colors, and the trick is, you can't.
There's different animals too.
There is, and there's also different
like
sizes. There's some that don't fit. I have big hands, and most of them won't fit past this knuckle. I can't put it on the third knuckle up against the palm because they're so small. So they're either for children or ladies. Or if you're a man, you just put it further up on the hand, as she has it there. Okay, so, wait.
I'm sending you my address right this instant before I forget.
Were we done with ventriloquism? Shall we move on to worse mitten? Which I love this idea, and it's great.
Oh, worse mitten!
And it was in Jeanette's backyard, so...
Yeah, it was. We invented that in Jeanette's backyard.
Thank you, Jeanette.
So... Worstminton is an easy game. Anyone can play this. You don't need a bazooka. You don't need space helmets or anything for this. All you need is a badminton net. So you set up a badminton net in your garden or your yard. I suppose you have yards in the States, and you need standard badminton rackets, and you need a piece of string that's about 1.5 meters long.
Long enough to reach
on the end of that.
Yes.
Yes, long enough to reach the grass, and a little bit longer, perhaps.
Okay.
And you tie it to the center of the top of the net, and on the other end you have a balloon. Very simple. And so you basically you serve the balloon, and you try to whack the balloon over the net. And it's a little bit like keepy uppy. You play keepy uppy?
No.
I don't know if you play keepy uppy.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a very old English game, that one, where you're basically trying to keep the balloon off the floor. This is how we used to entertain ourselves as children.
Keepy uppy is something used in the adult film industry. It's very different. Go on.
No. It's not the one I'm thinking of. No. So basically, you're trying to hit the balloon and keep it aloft, and get it over the net eventually. And it's that easy. It's so much easier than badminton. Trying to remember. You don't have to remember scores or anything. You just try and get it over the net and onto the floor. That's easy. It's so easy. But it's a lovely game.
I don't know about British grass, but American grass tends to be very sharp, and it will pop a balloon when it touches it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I recommend some sort of conditioner.
Yeah,
massage conditioner into the grass first.
That's a great idea. I'll be out on my 2 acres massaging my lawn.
That's right. Your neighbour will completely understand if you tell them what it's all about.
They'll be like, y'all need the pigs? We can send the pigs over.
Ben has facial hair like that.
Yeah, it's a little prickly. So you got really sharp grass out there? I didn't know that.
It's odd, but balloons will often pop on our grass. I think what it is, it's crabgrass in particular, is a very strong and stout stem. And
Okay,
so you want to tell us about your finest tossers?
Well, Finest Tossers, now that is actually a proper old Victorian parlour game. And my grandpa taught me how to play that. We used to play a lot of these Victorian parlour games we used to play at Christmas at my family's homes.
When you were 7 and went, oh, not this.
I used to love them.
you?
I used to love them.
Did
So
you?
I'm
That's
trying to
great.
bring back. Yeah, I'm trying to bring back these old games. So the finest tosser is basically you have a top hat, or a hat with a brim. A fedora works quite well. I know you've got a fedora
I have
tucked away
many
somewhere.
top hats also.
You place that. You place that on the floor. You take about 10 steps away from it, and you set up a line beyond which you cannot pass. And you form two teams, and you give them a playing card,
A single
and they have to
play
try a single playing card. And they have to then try and toss the single playing card into the hat, which is actually quite difficult. If you try and throw a single playing card, it tends to flutter around. It might not land in the hat. It might land on the brim.
Like a politician.
Yeah, it skirts the issues. Anyway, so after they've tried with one card, you then give them two cards, which they stick together a little bit, and you try and fling two cards in. Oh,
whoa, sorry.
And no, avalanche. It's okay. So then two cards, everyone gets a chance to throw two cards in, and then 3 cards, 4 cards, and then 5 cards. Now you get points for how many cards you get into the hat. That's how it works, basically. It's a lovely little game. I'll send you the rules if you like, but it's good fun to play. Cards end up all over the floor.
We also definitely need a copy, at least in my mind. I'm not sure about Andres. Battle Croquet. We need a copy of Battle Croquet.
I'll send you the rules.
I can imagine.
We've made videos for them.
I can imagine that being
It's
a live
Conrad,
broadcast.
actually. He did a great job. Yes, we should video that. We should definitely do that.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Okay. Here you go. I'm sending you a link to the... Oh, if I can spell it. After a few of these, my spelling goes downhill. Battle Croquet.
Well, we're American. We naturally don't need spelling because, yeah.
Battle Croquet League is the place. It's completely fictitious, really.
Whatever.
But there we go. It's there. There it is, the league, and it will tell you all about the history, the faux history, 100% faux history of Battle Croquet.
Faux is very in fashion.
And we've got badges for it as well. I think we've almost sold out of the badges.
You have promoted your badges, Ben.
Badgers?
Yeah.
We don't need no stinking badgers.
Badges.
Badges.
Hang on, I'll get one. Hold on.
I'm going to get a badge now.
Hold the fort, Tixie. Hold the fort.
Okay.
No pressure, Tixie. It's all you. What?
Oops. I'm just thinking about the tidying up afterwards.
Well, it shouldn't be too... Oh, cleaning up after him, dragging stuff around. But we know you're terribly shy and don't like to talk a lot, so we'll be gentle.
I took loads. Ben's got the gaffer tape there, just in case I say something I shouldn't.
If you wave it at things, it makes them fix themselves, I've heard.
Oh, there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sort of a badge salesman now, really. So that is that's the official badge of Battle Croquet.
And
it's.
Let me step away one moment. Hold on.
Okay.
£5 each.
So they're cast in iron and gold plated and hand enamelled.
We have a variation of them. I don't get the money,
Try and fix
though.
the computer. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that.
Oh, I'm gonna go and get a
That's
hat
not
now.
a pelican. Oh, you are
I
ready.
had a mallet today.
You are so ready.
But hers is a...
My croquet set is right here beside me.
Okay, well, if you want to play, you are ready. I nearly bought that hat. I so nearly bought that hat. It's awesome. Love a flamingo.
Yes, we have these during Halloween. They'll put them up, and we're like, "Oh, we need one," and then we saw them again.
Two of those.
We need two. Yes,
we have to.
Yeah.
Well, we had a party, Alice in Wonderland croquet party.
Brilliant.
And we wore those, and we had a hedgehog ball.
Oh yeah, no, we've got a hedgehog too. I'm trying to make a remote control hedgehog at the moment.
Oh my.
It's getting the remote controls inside the hedgehog that he doesn't really like, but I will get there.
It's like,
eventually.
no!
Hedgehogs are persnickety.
They are persnickety.
By
What's
the way,
he doing here?
if I can interrupt, we are woefully short on our monthly bit goal. So if if our viewers are so inclined, it would be a great time to throw bits for very amusing guests. And I'm going to change hats.
Oh, I like that hat. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing here, really. Oh, it's the flat hat.
Yes, well, it fits better with the headsets.
That's the thing, it's so annoying as a record producer. You can't wear a top hat and decent headphones.
Thank you, Gene. The earbuds are nice, and I'm waiting for the technology to catch up where I can wear earbuds during the show, so I can wear a fedora or a Homburg or whatever, a top hat, as is fitting.
Definitely, someone needs to make a top hat with headphones attached that come down, I think. I mean, I'm sure there's a market for it, a really, really small, tiny niche.
There we go, niche, yes, indeed. I have considered the behind-the-head headphones.
Yeah, they fall off, though, don't they? I find they fall off.
I haven't had them for years. I used them, I guess 6 years ago, and they were okay, but I eventually upgraded to better headsets. And by the way, if you ever need them, what I have found is gaming headsets work very well. You can get them for about $35 American. So I'm guessing 28 or so UK. And they have a microphone. They're comfortable.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Andrea has a terribly sensitive head that squishes easily, so there is no such thing as comfortable headphones for her. It's and earbuds. Yeah, if it wasn't for.
Is it the pressure that you don't like? Can I recommend some headphones for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Try the AKG 271S.
Hold on.
If you can get hold of them.
271S.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and they're completely circumaural, so they fit over your ears.
That's what I need.
And they don't. There's no pressure, and then they're not too. There's no pressure on the top of your head either, really. So I thoroughly recommend them. I love those headphones.
I have pulled them up on Amazon. Give me just a second.
Are they expensive?
That's what I'm checking, because I'm seeing other ones which is not the exact same number. And if the internet goes wonky, it's because it's his fault. Oh, they're only $167.
Yeah, a mere snip. They're quite expensive as headphones go, but they're really good.
Well, if any of our viewers would like to purchase them for me, I'd be greatly appreciative.
There we go.
You need a crowdfunding bit thing.
Some might have some spare.
No, they're lovely headphones. I do like them.
Oh, that's him again. Okay. It's Toei says Twitch won't let me watch. By the way, when you're on Twitch, Ben, I will assume that everybody is as poverty-stricken as myself. On Twitch, to throw bits, you can do it one of two ways. You can go purchase bits. You can throw money at Twitch. They give you money to throw at us. Or...
That's lovely.
You can go in the chat box. There's a little triangle. It's kind of shaped, not quite triangular, but like that. And if you click on that...
Like the Illuminati symbol.
A bit, yes. Because it does kind of have that eye on the bottom. Okay, so now we know. We know. But when you click bit
and you can watch videos.
Right.
Okay.
Only if you click that one down there. If you click the get bits up top, it does not have a video option. But yeah, you watch commercials essentially, and they give you bits that then you can support your favorite streamers.
Anywhere from 5 to 100 per video.
And by the way, each bit is equivalent to about a pence or a penny. So, when somebody throws 100 bits, it's $1. But you know what? I don't care if you're throwing 5 cents or 500.
It all adds up.
It does.
We need to get some headphones for this lady because she has sensitive ears. Throw the bits! Throw the bits!
Yeah, those sensitive ears are always reading horrible novels and weeping. It's horrible. Sensitive.
You don't have to tell everybody.
No, we all know now. We all feel sympathetic.
That's right.
I get into books and I get very angry and very sad, and he hears about it.
Okay, this is
you get emotionally overcome by words. That's lovely.
She will read 2 chapters from the end and put it down and go, "I'm not finishing." And I'm like, "Why?
No!
Are you upset?" And she goes, "Well, yes, because they've hit the climatic point, but I don't want it to end. I don't want them to resolve the problems." Gene, thank you. Here's to you. Gene just threw some bits at us.
I do finish it eventually.
She does.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's and in one of my books, she got to chapter 3, and there was it was only one paragraph, but the description was so disturbing to her, she put it down and went, "You
I'm
did
like,
that.
nope.
You did that to a dog. I can't read anymore."
Oh no, that's yeah.
I'm a horrible.
Yeah, a friend of
Well,
mine
he
wrote a book.
didn't do it.
It was horrible. He wrote this book and he lent me a copy of it and he said, "Oh, read my book." And there was something horrible in it.
Who is
it? I read the. Well, I don't want to name him by name because
might sell a book.
Mean, but he wrote a really good book. Well,
Sell the book, yeah.
I don't know what that book was called, but he did write a nice book called The Fat Rats of Flatland, which was very good.
Fun.
Dan Maitland on Amazon, I think. That's a lovely little book about rats, which I quite like. But he wrote this other one, which was really horrible and disturbing. And I didn't read it beyond the horrible bit. And I said, "Dan, why did you write that?" And he said, "Well, my girlfriend really likes that sort of literature, so I just wrote it for her." And
Well,
then
there's people that like it. Why not?
I suppose so. They're not together now. I don't know. Still, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Rats of Flatland?
Yeah, is it there?
No, I'm not
The fat rats. I think it's called The Fat Rats of Flatland.
Fat Rats of Flatland. Let's look it up. Because the bottom line is, if something is disturbing, it creates an emotional response. That's good writing.
I guess so. Yeah, I just wondered where this. But there it is. The Fat Rats of Flatland. Yeah, it's on Lulu. That's a nice book. I recommend that one because that's just lovely. It's got rats and a flat land, and it's sort of set in a sort of Victorian world, I suppose, but they're anthropomorphic and they're cute. It's kind of an eco-friendly book as well. Sort of.
In that it's an e-book, it doesn't waste paper.
No, because I've got a paperback copy of it. But
so much for eco-friendly, you bastards!
Oh, so I was supposed to get rid of it. I'd have to burn it, and that's not environmentally friendly either. It's the flamingo.
Why is fire?
He's come to tell us off.
Fire. This is a weird.
Is it environmentally friendly? I don't know.
It's not.
Maybe it is.
Because if we look at Victorian London, it was this huge smog cloud.
True.
Now, I used London because Victorian America was, I guess you had, your mining towns were a small cloud, and then New York and other large cities were a small cloud. And a lot of it was wood burning.
Yeah.
Now, Ben, let me ask you, do you want to go into a serious topic that I had set aside for tonight's show?
Okay.
Is that wood burning?
No, not at all. It's
serious. We're going serious.
Unrelated. And we could definitely make bad jokes because that's what we do here. Now, again, I don't know you well enough to know your political leanings, but you seem like a reasonable guy. So let's see where this goes. I pulled an article off CNN.com and the headline is 104-year-old scientist David Goodall welcomes death at a Swiss clinic. So this gentleman, yes, which is a topic very near and dear to my heart. I am a full believer in we will be kind to our animals and put them down when they're suffering, but our own species, we're like, oh well, that's wrong. Now for me, and you could disagree, I feel it is essential to allow certain people who are suffering and no longer have a quality of life to choose. This doesn't mean a 13-year-old who's depressed. This means somebody of disease-ridden or old, but he is a 104-year-old Australian scientist. 104.
Sure.
Not 30, not 70, 104. But
he's heading to his exit.
A little bit. Whether or not he chooses, it's not long on this world. So he told CNN that his life was no longer worth living, and he said he hoped his story would lead to legalization of assisted dying in other countries. So this Australian, respected botanist and ecologist, he's due to die at Life Circle Clinic in Basel today.
Wow.
Which I'm guessing, considering it is 3:30 in the U.S. right now, this has passed. This moment
may have happened.
And I should probably refresh the article and double check for information on it. But basically, he's a grandfather of 12, longtime member of a pro-euthanasia group called Exit International. And he said his life stopped being enjoyable 5 or 10 years ago because of his failing mobility and eyesight. You know, he used to work in the field a lot. Now he's in a wheelchair. He can't go out into the bush. He used to be all around him. Now he can't hear the birds the way he used to. He can't see the things he used to. There is not a joy in life. He wakes up, eats breakfast, sits there until lunchtime, eats lunch, and sits there again. His point being, the hell am I alive for? I'm not productive to myself.
He's just walking around not enjoying anything.
Not even walking.
Very difficult, isn't it? When you've got... I think if you... On the one hand, I completely understand the idea of the concept of euthanasia, because if you're not enjoying your life, you're not fit, you're not healthy, you can't see things, you don't remember anything. You know, my grandfather sort of ended his life a little bit like that.
He didn't. He had a long life. He only got a little bit senile in the last couple of months of his life.
Well, it was a little bit longer than that. I mean, he ended up in a home because he couldn't...
A really nice home.
Well, because he couldn't smell anything. He couldn't remember that he'd put the kettle on, so it burnt out, and he wouldn't be able to smell the smoke. So he was becoming dangerous, and he couldn't hear the smoke alarm. Right. So he was losing those senses. But I think if a law was to be passed to allow euthanasia, it would have to be done very, very carefully, because if you think of people, if they're starting to lose their mind, and they sign over a power of attorney,
and that's one of my biggest fears, by the way. I have never been a beautiful man to look at. I pride myself on...
Well, I don't know, sir. I don't know about that.
How you doing? Thank you.
There's a fabulous moustache you got there.
Thank you. It's my best feature, besides my tushy.
Yeah.
I've
just keep the focus on the moustaches.
I've always worried about once I am a burden to the people I love and care for, and not contributing in any way other than, we got to go take care of that guy again. I don't want to do that to anyone else. I love to give. I don't want to take any more than, if somebody offers a gift, of course I'm pleased. But in general, I want to give. I want to produce. I want to create in whatever form. And I don't care. I can be in a wheelchair and hard of hearing, and if I can read stories and entertain 3 children or adults in front of me, I'm okay. I'm giving. I'm producing something. I am productive in some form. But once I am just nothing more than a chore that has to be done, and that's just me. I definitely respect people who feel the other side, where nobody should die ever. We should keep them alive as long as we can, even if they're just laying in a bed rotting. Okay, you're entitled to that, and I understand why you feel that way. But here's...
What do you think, Tixie?
I have a serious issue with dreams and nightmares, and when they're still not great dreams, but like when they were really bad a few years ago, I was actually saying to Ben, I'd like to go and put an end to this. I've had enough. But it's I believe that your spirit doesn't die. So but at the same time, when you're suffering like that, it becomes your focus. And it's difficult to think, well, at least if I die and my spirit's not going to die and I'm going to be somewhere else, I'm not going to look old, blah, blah, blah. But it's that now, it's that pain that you suffer, whether it's a physical pain or a mental pain. I find it really a really difficult thing. I can kind of get it if someone is like suffering and, they're at the end of their life. But like, I suppose I look beyond that. What's got me through it's because it becomes under self-harm, you see, within the spiritual realm, and murder, because you're murdering yourself, and you're not really meant to do that. So with me, like, I'm just gonna be, I just know that the one day these horrible dreams, blah blah blah, will end, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But I can get it. I can understand when someone's in really awful pain, and they. And it's like, I wouldn't want to get like that.
And if they make the choice when they're still mentally collected,
Yeah, not when they're young, because then they don't
don't realize the value of life.
It's possible that you can get over. I know people, like Caroline Lee, for instance. She's a brain specialist, and she's had patients where the hospital have told the parents to turn the machine off, but the parents didn't, and the kid ended up with a degree.
Oh.
So when you know that, that's what I mean. So when you know that, because our brains are strong, and we can get over trauma with the right help. So.
The thing is, though, I mean, okay, we're discussing it openly. So, I mean, it was a few years ago.
Yeah,
you said to me you wanted to go to Switzerland and end it.
Yeah.
So, are you kind of glad that I didn't take you out there?
Kind of, yeah, but sometimes like when
but
sometimes like when the dreams are like really like, because sometimes I get pain in my dreams, and there are demons in my dreams actually, and they're evil. They're so evil, and sometimes I wake up like and I'm like, I just had enough of this.
Tixie.
But I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it now. I think that I've come this far.
So if I can,
like where.
May I interrupt with a few things? There's 2 or 3 things here. First of all, by the way, today doctors will place an intravenous needle filled with sodium pentobarbital into Goodall's arm, and he will administer the lethal drug himself. So he does it because he's still mental.
He does it. Okay.
So you're saying you had?
Doesn't it feel painful though?
No.
I have.
No more than any needle.
I have.
No, it's just you don't feel any pain. No, just
yeah, no
I
more
think
than
it's quite
the
a
prick
slow...
of the skin. And then it's like going
just
to
like having an injection. Yeah.
Precisely. So with yourself, you've apparently, from what I have just learned, you've experienced something that was so stressful and painful to you in your dreams that you considered this concept, this process. And
I said it out loud. I did say to Ben, I've had enough of it. Yeah.
But now things have changed for you. Now I'm curious about 2 things. I would love to hear your description of the demons if it's not too stressful for you to discuss. And also, what changed? What happened that either the dreams don't come anymore or...
No, they do. They do. And those things that were there sometimes come back.
But you have
a balance now. They came back a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, you can change your dreams. You can be lucid. So sometimes you're lucid, or I rebuke them, or something like that. But I use the name of Jesus Christ, and they go. You can make them go, but you can actually. There is like God says, like when you sleep, your sleep shall be sweet. So you don't really. It is a fight. Don't get me wrong, but like you can. There are kind of spiritual windows and doors that you have to close to stop those things. But it doesn't mean to say that life is going to be like, like perfect, because we're just not living in the perfect world, are we?
Perfection is a state of mind, my dear.
Yeah,
sometimes
it is.
When we appreciate the
Peace
small
is good,
moment,
though.
It is. It's weighing your positive against your negative and appreciating the positive more than dwelling on the negative.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
It's not an easy process. It's a fight, but the odd thing about that fight is when you focus too much on the fight itself, as opposed to the benefits of the good, you forget the benefits of the good. So the love, the positivity, the productivity, the creativity of life is what balances out our own demons. Now, that's my thought. I'd like to hear yours.
Oh, these are separate entities, so you can change them, you can get rid of them, you can attack them. They don't bleed, but they are there. So they, I mean, I'm a bit of a seer, so like God has kind of opened my eyes, and I sometimes see stuff like, I don't particularly like what I see, but it's not as prominent as some people. Some people see stuff all the time, but like, yeah, I do see stuff. There was someone online a little while ago, and they were taking photographs of the sky, and they could see like in the clouds they could see an eye, but the last maybe 3 months, maybe less than that, I've been seeing a black and white eye, and it's like an eye of God, if you like, and it's looking up and down. It moves. It's not a dead eye, it's a live one, and I see that with my eyes closed. I see it with my eyes open. and I see it on the ceiling, and I see it in the sky, and sometimes it's in more than one place, and it's quite comforting.
No.
It's unusual though.
It's unusual.
I want to ask both of you before I go on,
Sure.
because I would love to ask more questions.
I'm not on drugs.
No, not at all. Not even insinuating. I want to ask, are you both comfortable discussing this topic before I ask more questions? And
yeah, that's fine.
If you want, yeah.
Ben, are you comfortable?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And at any time you could say, I don't want to answer that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's okay.
Because this is more of a personal curiosity discussing. We have science. Science dictates things it based on facts. Then we have more than science, which may be facts yet to be proved, or it may be things in our mind, and we don't know at this point because we just haven't gotten to the point where we have documented proof, etc. And I accept that. So I want you to know I'm not judging, I'm not teasing, I am genuinely curious.
Sure.
With what some people may call hallucinations. How do you feel about? Are you? Because you're saying you're seeing it while awake, while asleep, both.
Yeah.
Where do you think your head is?
Well, why would I see that from? Where do I think my head is?
Yeah, do you think it's hallucination or?
No, it's not hallucination. I think there are. If you look online, you'll find that a lot of people are seers. They do. Like you look at Revelation. The Lord says He will give people dream. His children dreams, and they will see, and they will have prophecies. Some people have prophecies about people, and they'll tell them beforehand. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I've had that over me before, but I didn't record the prophecy. I really wish I had. It was also saying that the dreams would sort of die down. Yeah, I can call Ben into my dreams, and he'll come into my dreams.
Are you recording it now?
What am I recording?
Anything that you're seeing, dreaming, visualizing, etc.
Oh, you've been writing down?
Yes. Yeah. Do you keep a record?
No, not really.
No. I remember my dreams.
Although I have to say, you write a lot of songs about it. So in a way, our music is kind of a record.
Yeah,
that's got to be very good.
Trees know. Yeah, trees know is. Sometimes I dream music which is really positive. So sometimes, like I had a dream the other day where I couldn't see. It was some weird stuff was going on, but I couldn't actually see. And then the dream changed, and it was still dark, and I could hear someone playing a guitar, and she sounded a bit like who's that woman that died of cancer? That was a really good singer, Eva Cassidy. She sounded like Eva Cassidy, and she sang this song, and I could hear her singing, and it was only for a few minutes. And then when I woke up from that, I remembered the line, and from that I wrote this beautiful song.
Which song was that?
Catch My Beating Heart.
Oh yeah. Which we haven't got released
yet.
Yeah,
but
let me know when it does. I'll be happy to. Yeah.
It's so nice. It just does this. It just goes. Catch my beating heart. That's all it was. It's a bit more melodic than that. And it was just really pretty. Enough to write to start off the whole song.
The first line.
And it was more folky within the dream.
Yeah.
If I may, and I'm so sorry to interrupt what you're saying there, but
No
Ben,
worries.
when she calls you into the dream, have you noticed anything in your sleep or waking hours that would support this?
Yeah, because one of the
there's really one amazing thing that I experienced once. Sorry, I've got to say this. Like this was about maybe
Say it, but allow Ben to talk also, okay?
Yeah, go on.
Okay,
go on.
This is like amazing. Go on.
Go on.
Oh, right, okay. Just quick. I was like, I'd woken up in my bedroom and I was like half asleep, and I could see. I don't watch Harry Potter or anything like that, but I could see 3 flying things in different kind of colours, like the colour of light, and then some of the colour was like more orange, and there were like 3 different tones of light colour, but they were like creatures, and they were about this big, and they were like mystical creatures. I'd never seen anything like it, and I was just watching because they were at the end of the bed, and they were flying around.
Were they alien in appearance? What kind of feel did you get from them?
They didn't frighten me because I've experienced quite a lot of things. So they didn't frighten me. And I was just fascinated. So I watched him for a few minutes, but I was quite tired. And I just leant over to Ben and I shook him and I just said, there's brief line things at the end of your bed. And this is what he said to me with his eyes closed. He had his eyes closed and he said, yes, I just chased him across a porthole I talked to you about in the morning. That was like weird.
Yeah.
Can we give Ben a chance to respond to all of this? Ben, please.
So, yeah, I mean, Tix has had these bad dreams for a long time.
But that wasn't a bad dream that I had there.
No, not that particular. Go ahead.
So I tried to sort of find ways of helping to alleviate the symptoms. So one of the things that I looked at was lucid dreaming. Yes. Because I figured that if you can do lucid dreaming, you're in control of the dream. You're actually in charge. You realize. So for those of you that haven't done lucid dreaming, it's the process of being completely asleep, but becoming completely conscious during your dream, and becoming aware that you're dreaming. That's the idea.
I've done that a couple of times.
I did this in my teens. It is a process. Okay. Anybody who is attempting lucid dreaming, it is not a one-time thing. It is as you're falling asleep, entering that state, you make yourself aware that you may dream and you would like to interact. Once you have I used to blink while sleeping to change the channel.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
And I would change my dream or interact directly, including stopping to read. And with the reading thing, it started as I understood what it was. Then I saw symbols. Then I saw letters that were jumbled. And then I actually were able to read. This was a process of months. It is not an instant thing. Ben, go on.
No, it takes a long time to master. So I read some articles about historically there were two lucid dreamers who arranged to meet up in the dream world. And they did, and they had a conversation. So I thought, well, if it's possible to enter someone else's dream in the dream world, in maybe a collective subconscious or unconscious state, I would try and do that and try and fight these demons. So I learnt quite a bit about lucid dreaming in order really just to enter Tixie's dreams to fight demons. Which I do with reasonable success. But it takes a lot of effort to do. I wake up tired because I feel like I've been awake all the way through my sleep.
It's like after doing a good show where you didn't work hard, but you're emotionally drained.
Something like that, yeah.
And if I may interrupt with something else to keep in mind, Madam Perry has joined us as a viewer. What about Aboriginal concept of dream time? Is this similar to the topics or states you all are discussing?
Yeah, dream time is similar. There are some similarities in lots of different cultures. I think there was there was an article.
Dreamscape.
Oh, was there? I didn't see it. I've not seen that movie.
And I think they remade it 15 years ago. But anyhow,
go on. I'll have to check it out. But there's another interesting article. Whether it's true or not, I'm not sure. But it's about a tribe of, I think, Eskimos, a particular tribe, who believe that real life is actually in the dream world, and that this world is really not the real world at all. So they spend this world just eating and just existing in order to go back to the dream world. And they live their life in it.
Suggested this as a philosophical topic. That the control you lack in your dream world, and then later you can gain control through lucid dreaming. Perhaps real life is exactly the same. We are waiting to wake up, and this would move to a spiritual level. No scientific basis, because we haven't reached that point of scientific exploration, which, by the way, I will state, it may all be in our head, or it may not. There might be scientific basis for this that we just haven't reached that point to explore it. So perhaps when we die, whatever religious belief you hold dear, or whatever philosophical belief you hold dear, perhaps this is like a dream, and when we wake up, suddenly there is such a thickness and depth and feel of reality. The same as when you're waking from a dream. That dream felt very real. But when you wake, you're like, wow, this is real.
It's even more real. Yeah, that's right.
There might be
you could be right.
another layer. We
I think so.
Don't have, but consciousness is a weird thing that science has yet to explain.
It's really strange.
It is.
It's really strange.
It is.
I used to also have a lot of what do they call it when you what do they call it when you feel like you're pushed down and you can't move. What's it called?
It's sort of an incubus.
No, I'm not talking about those. I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about the spirits behind them. I'm talking about the
sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
paralysis. That's what they call it. Yeah.
I used to have sleep paralysis quite a lot, and you would get really fearful because you can't move and you can't even talk. I mean, I'd talk to God. I'd talk to God with my mind, and to get me awake from that, and He wake me up from it. But it came back. It stopped for a while, and then it came back not that long ago. And I just said no. It started to happen, and you can't explain what happens. It's just like it was dark, and I feel like I'm like being thrown around everywhere.
Yes,
I've got no control, and I just confusion. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But what I did is I just said no. I said, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to stop. I was still in the darkness, but it was really peaceful, and I felt so cool about that because like I rebuked it in the Lord's name, and it just stopped. And I didn't wake up straight away. I was in like about a minute, but it was so peaceful, and I wasn't frightened because either I was surrounded in darkness and I was still asleep. Really, I just felt peaceful, and everything stopped. Everything was just really quiet, and then I woke up. It was amazing.
If I may, as a non-Christian-based religion person, this is still valid. Basically, from what I've understood, and Tixie, you may disagree. Tixie. By invoking the name of the person or deity or force that she feels protects her, suddenly became comfortable in that environment, and that took away the power of non-control. So what I'm saying is, if you are not Christian-based and you're like, well, I'm not going to call on Jesus, still understand, accepting creates an impressive amount of comfort. By accepting the situation you're in, suddenly that situation can lose its power over you. Whether that's through...
Go
ahead.
This girl got in touch with us once because she was following us talking about that sort of thing to somebody. And she was a Muslim girl, and she said she had nightmares, and we told her to do the same thing, to rebuke it in Jesus' name, and she did, and it stopped, and did the same thing for her. And she wasn't like, like I've prayed for people before, and they've been like in cults and stuff, but because they, like God doesn't treat us like how you can call him, like you can disown him, blah blah blah, but like if you called on him for help, he rocks up. He's not like us, like, oh no, you didn't do that for me. He's not that kind. He's not that. Yeah, it's not like that.
It's the power
he
of
shows
faith.
love.
Whatever name you call it by, it is the power of faith. It has an ability in your mind to change your perception. And this is not to degrade Christianity and belief at all. This is to encourage others that believe differently to understand there are still possibilities within your mind. That, and by the way, my religious view is a lot of them are. Andrea, did you have a comment or question? I see you with a hand.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Just making sure. No, I just didn't want to not.
I'm reading.
And by the way, we are just a few minutes out. So in a few minutes, I'm going to totally yank us out of this topic and put us back on the track of the show and talk about what else we have. But my point is, what's in your mind, what's in your faith, what's in your heart has the ability to influence your perception, whether this is religious or whether you want to go purely scientific. Your perception of reality changes how you experience it. Whether it's calling upon your God that protects you and your faith, or whether it's about just understanding, whatever it is, you can influence these things. And it is not just like fighting depression or bipolar or any of these things. It is not instant. It is not that quick. It might feel that way sometimes, but it is an ongoing thing that you deal with. And you have to remember it, experience. Yes. We fight for our success, whether that success is emotional, physical, or otherwise. we have to, and by the way, sometimes the best thing is to release control. When you grasp something too hard, it slips between your fingers. When you try to direct those bubbles in your bubble bath to one place, if you splash, it doesn't go where you want to. If you're gentle, you could direct it. Weird, but true. Okay, we're at 5 minutes till.
That was an really interesting diversion. I like that.
I am amazed at the girl that was a Muslim but couldn't. Her God didn't move, but didn't stop it. But it wasn't until she called on the name of the Lord that it stopped. So
absolutely find your Andrea.
Who are we going to raid today?
Oh, give me just a second. I'll check that. I want to talk about next week's shows, because this is our last show of the week, unless if Andrew and I just get bored and decide to go on Fortnite or Lego Dimension or just broadcast. So, Monday, we have an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway? Where now, I'll tell you, if you're terribly sensitive, if you're a social justice warrior, this may not be for you. We don't try to offend, but sometimes our humor crosses lines that some people aren't comfortable with. But we're going to have a great time. Tuesday, Angela Pritchett, actress, musician, ukulele player, great person. Wednesday, Dana Buffet, and I might be saying that wrong. Buffet Stevens is going to come on and talk to us about cosplay, belly dancing, and all kinds of adult, middle-aged, geeky things, because that's our show.
She does all kinds of cool stuff.
And Thursday, Jay Smith, author, blogger, podcaster, and dramatist, will be joining us. Now, let's see who is on Twitch right now that we can raid. Give me a second. I'm pulling up a new tab. Let's see who.
Now, do you know what a raid is?
Okay.
Are you new to Twitch, Ben?
Yeah, it keeps.
Okay, a raid is when we're done with our broadcast, we send all of our viewers to another channel to experience something new, and that's how we get some of our viewers too. So it's all community.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
We love community and supporting others.
So we're not going to go and break into someone's house and raid them. That's not. No, it's not part of the thing.
You know what? Maybe after the show, but during the show, we just go to somebody else's channel. So we have three choices. We have Livy in the middle, who's an awesome musician. We have Brown Bear 27, who looks like they're playing Assassin's Creed. And my favorite choice of the three we have available is Geeks IRL, who is setting up the studio for gaming and talking to somebody else. So I vote for that. Talking to Luria from Atlanta.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to set up the raid for that. Oh, by the way, Toei says if none of your people are on, I have somebody. Who do you have, Toei? Suggest it to us. Let me check it out.
And we wait.
And by the way,
while we wait, we need to toast, a closing toast.
Oh, let's do that right
before we
now.
Go.
Hey. Besides talking about fun, silly, goofy, out of the box stuff, thank you for this last conversation about so much more than what we deal with every day. Thank you both.
Honesty.
Cheers. Here's the talk of the tavern.
Oh, thank you, sir. And Toei, let us know. And as a moderator, I think you can do. Oh, let's Geeks RIL. Okay, so we're gonna go with that.
Okay.
And we're basically for you two. Just so you know, you don't have to do anything. Just hang out. We'll switch it over here in about, what do we got here? So in about 25 seconds, I will start the raid. I will set up our closing music. Gene, thank you so much for that. And thank you again for suggesting Ben. It looks like I am going to make this man come on the show again if he's willing and doesn't hide from me. Lady of Games.
Yeah. Drag him kicking and screaming.
We want to come back on again?
Yeah, I will get a chair, and I'll put some makeup on.
We shall buy another chair, especially for.
Very good. Toei,
that's why my eyes are so dark. Yeah.
You know what? I am going to go with Toei's suggestion just because I love Toei. And we're going to go with Lady of Games instead of Geek
Lady
IRL.
of Games.
I have no idea what she's broadcasting, but we'll pop over there. Andrea?
Just so you know, Talking Toei is also another gamer streamer. She does simulations, like
Andrea,
farm
can you
simulations.
Post a shout out for her, please. And I'm going to do some closing music.
How do I do that?
Exclamation SO. Talking Toei.
Okay.
Toei, you're a moderator. You can do it too.
Thanks for joining us in the
discussion shenanigans tonight. You are the one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Hang out Until for a minute. then, We will have talk fun, a little bit keep after learning, the show is and done. be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every night.
What's that radio station you used to listen to?
Hold on, stop this here. And